Okay, now there's somebody really independent, right, who can tell you, you know, I mean, there's obviously something wrong with these things, you know, and somebody that's selling them is not going to tell you. Now you're wondering who the guy in the T-shirt is. Well, he's well, he's got something special with him right here. His name is Ryan Lane, and he just made $20,000 in 20 days for his invention. Put that up. Show him what this thing is. Yeah. Can you tell what that is? Well, look how small it is. You ever see these? I mean, I live in Washington, D.C., with all the yuppies around you, walking around. On their way to yoga, you know, everybody and his brothers on their way to yoga. And they have these big, you know, they look like, you know, knapsacks or something they're carrying around, or duffel bags. They look like cowboys, you know, with their rolled back sort of.
Yeah.
This thing could fit almost anywhere, right?
You know, that every time I see one of those people, I think that's somebody who should have a yoga mat.
Right.
And while, you know, I'm not obviously trying to promote every time I think about that. Yeah, it fits in. It fits in purses. It fits in bags, and that was the idea behind it.
It's a wonderful idea, and let me show you now. He was a lawyer, very successful lawyer. How many years were you lawyering?
I'm actually still a lawyer.
Oh, still a lawyer. Okay, so he's still lawyering. Okay.
You know, I practiced for a little while, never independently, but I've been a lawyer since I guess 5 years ago.
Okay. Show 61. This is what changed his life.
Oh yeah.
This is.
That's me. That is me.
How long ago was this?
That was September 20th, 2008. So
September 20th. So 5 years ago, you broke your neck. How the hell do people live breaking their neck?
I'm one of the few that's lucky enough to not have to be in a chair. Again, I got lucky.
Wow.
I ended up having a fractured neck that got titanium plates and screws placed in there, and I was in recovery for about a year.
No, just leave that last one. Oh, yeah, that, okay. No, put his, not that one yet. Tony and I haven't worked before. He's very good, better than I am. That's the problem. She's thinking ahead of me. And I don't know where I am going yet. But, okay, go back to the first one on Ryan's first one there. That 60. That's his website on Kickstarter. You're still there. You're a lot more money. This is yesterday, last night, and you're like $500-600 more already.
Yeah. It's been amazingly successful so far.
Yeah.
This iteration.
Right.
You know, I started the Kickstarter to fund the first round of production of the mats. The mats, there's a minimum quantities whenever you make anything, even a custom product like this, and I ended up deciding that I wanted to see if I could get other friends who had expressed interest involved and find a way to collectively fund the project with individuals who wanted to participate in having one of the first ones.
So, I mean, people don't realize, I mean, Kickstarter is a place that you could go and you have an idea like this, right? Yeah. And you say, all you have to do is make one, right? You don't have to figure out the rest of it yet.
Yeah.
And then you go on Kickstarter, and it costs you really not much. I mean, if
very
you
little.
A little bit of video, right?
Very little.
Put on there. See if anybody's going to find the sucker.
You don't even have to have a video, although you are a lot more successful statistically if you do, because people want to know who they're dealing with and what they're buying. So, you know, if you have a way to be transparent with a video, it helps people. But there's aside from time and passion, there's very little initial investment that you have to make.
But I think what's really interesting, now we can put that slide in. Tony, that third one of his?
Oh, that one.
No,
I think that's you.
Yeah, right, that's your other suit. You forgot to wear it. I have it on for you now. But what's interesting about your story to me was that you tried this a couple months back, right?
I did, and I wasn't successful.
Now, you're a smart guy, went to a lot of money, bought all the schools you went to.
You know, and I like reading books and figuring out how people have done things in the past. And you know, I knew a little bit about Kickstarter, but there are details that you need to know in order to be successful, even as a first-time venture into Kickstarter.
How long ago was that?
It was it followed closely behind the coattails of this next campaign because I didn't want to quit.
No, how long ago was your first campaign?
The first campaign started close to the beginning of the year. It was,
I see.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't long ago.
a couple months ago.
Yeah. And
so what brought you to that point? I mean, what was the tipping point? You said, "Oh shit, I'm going to enjoy this." Yeah.
Well, it's not cheap to fund a first round of a product, for example. And I knew that I
have to make the.
I knew I needed supplies, and I knew I needed to pay a manufacturer and everything. So
I see.
I got to the point where I knew what I needed. I identified the individuals and the companies that had the materials I needed to put it together, and I realized, based upon a budget that I had sketched out, I knew how much I needed to raise, and I knew I didn't have $15,000 to $20,000 of my own pocket money. I am an attorney with lots of student loans, so and a single dad. So I decided this is a point where I could take a couple different directions. I could have shelved the whole thing, but
so you're sitting there with this idea,
and
and you knew it costed $20,000 to get it off the ground.
Yeah, and it keeps me awake every night that I think, here's this great idea. I see everybody walking around with these ginormous, heavy mats on their shoulders, and I think, with all the people that do yoga, I mean, it's like carrying around five or six, different milk cartons at once.
Yeah.
And why do that when I have this great idea? I patented it first of all, so I did a little bit of protection.
So you're a lawyer.
Well, although I hired someone to do that. A good lawyer
knows when he's not good.
A good lawyer has a fool for a client if he represents himself.
Right.
But I knew that I needed help, and I decided that rather than wait another 2 or 3 years to save that money, I wanted to talk to people everyone I showed this thing to loved it. And so I decided, the whole concept of Kickstarter, as it was explained to me the first time, is, hey, I want to throw a big party, and I want to have the best DJ on the East Coast show up. How can I do that? I'm going to ask all my friends for $50. So, you get 100 of your friends with $50, and you can pay for
like a rent party.
Yeah. Everybody contributes, and I thought, if I can do that, and I can show people with a video and with, different great aspects of the product, how well, it will change things for them, why not try? So, yeah.
And so you went out and tried, and fell on your face, right?
Not on my head exactly, the broken neck thing. But no, I failed. I over-anticipated with very little media publicity how I needed to get the word out. And I also...
Let's show that slide again. He sent me a list of, I asked him, how could he identify or list the things that you learned from that failure? Because I think we all fail. That's the important thing about failing. So what you were saying to me is that you had to lower your goal. I mean, you had you were trying to do too much or something like that.
Yeah. So the first time I decided I wanted to try to raise $36,000, which, if you take a look at Kickstarter as a medium, it's a pretty high goal that's set comparatively to some other projects. And so I decided I wanted to have 2 colors available, and I wanted to have T-shirts, and I wanted to have USB drives with videos, and I wanted to have straps, all this other crap. Yeah, and hire the most amazing yoga instructor in the world. I'm kidding. But anyway, it was too ambitious.
Yeah.
And I think that for a full-fledged company, that type of ambition is certainly a strong possibility. But nobody knew who I was. Yeah. Nobody knew exactly what this thing was.
Around to do it all, so
no, and
so you learned that for the next time.
It was way too complicated, and I learned that for the next time.
And then he said something about the reward line.
Kickstarter, yeah.
Now these are rewards. So like if you buy something, there's like levels. If you pay $100, you get to wash your windows or something like that.
You can put anything you want on there. I've offered to go for a run with people, or go to yoga practice, or even feed their kids. Yeah, no, you can put anything you want on there, but at the end of the day, if it's not clear to people, why the hell would you throw money at it, right? And so I had written these big, long paragraphs of all the stuff you
get. You.
Yeah, and I realized no one has time to read through that stuff. So the next time I made them a lot more succinct and a lot shorter.
And this made those things sell better, the upgrade stuff.
Yeah, the funny thing is the simpler I wrote it and the clearer I was so that people could understand it, the more people have backed it and have donated it. And the less information I present, the more they're able to focus on what exactly I'm putting forth, which is the product. No extraneous stuff.
Okay, and don't please everyone. I guess maybe that's sort of
You
like
can't.
one, yeah.
You know, you can't. And there's always going to be people who have better ideas than you, but if you have a great one, try to please the people who are your core audience.
Yeah, just that. So keep it focused.
Yeah.
Build on word of mouth. So that's the key.
You got to come talk to people.
Yeah. And don't sell it self. For why can't I just put it up there? And
Yeah.
people throw me money.
You know what? The product's great, but I've realized that unless people trust me, they're not going to trust the product. So talking to people, you know, talking to people at your gym, talking to your neighbors, everybody that you want and you think could actually use this. Try not to be irritating, obviously.
Right.
Then you're going to turn people off. But you have to talk to people, and the opportunities to talk to people obviously come up like this one. We're having this conversation because
exactly. Well, everything leads to something else. That's why when I was selling a lot, I mean, I do media anywhere. Media to people on the street or a dog show. That wouldn't be worthwhile, but that would lead to something else. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because somebody would see me on that or whatever, so you never know. So, and particularly if it doesn't cost you anything, so you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. You know, one thing before I forget, I wanted to add, and I hope you don't mind me doing a little bit of promotion, but 5% of all the money that I raise from this is going to go to an organization called Next Step Fitness. We've already identified a goal that we'd like to create something. We're going to put together a yoga video, an assisted yoga video for individuals who are paralyzed or individuals who want to help individuals who are paralyzed practice yoga, because believe it or not, it also is a modality that a lot of people can heal from. And obviously, as having broken my neck before, I'm passionate about helping individuals who have spinal cord injuries.
Was this only with vets or for anyone with
No, not just for vets, although I'm really excited that this will be something I can help provide to vets as well. But the video itself we're going to do through Next Step Fitness. And I mean, across the board, beyond the video, 5% of all my company's earnings after this takes place and during Kickstarter this year will go to Next Step Fitness.
Wonderful. And so you can still buy this now.
Yes.
Come back here. Oh, wait. Yeah, you still buy this now when he talks about it. So you can go to Kickstarter.com and just put in Yogo Mats.
Yeah.
Yogo Mats.
YOGOMAT.
And what's the base price again? What's it?
I think 45 is what it is. It's actually really market competitive.
Right.
I feel like I'm on Saturday Night Live when Alec Baldwin leans in and he goes, "My cookies." I feel like I have to lean in every time I talk. But yes, it's still available on Kickstarter. And
yeah, it looks like but you passed your goal already. I mean, you must be really. Somebody was in the gutter just a couple months ago.
You know what? Failure is so funny because it as long as you take a different look at failure, it's always a learning opportunity. And I knew I failed as soon as that campaign ended, and obviously it goes to 0 time. And you haven't reached your goal. Clearly you failed, but I thought, you know what? There's no way that if I did this again, I couldn't get the people who had already backed it, and I wouldn't be able to. So I lowered the goal from 36,000 to 16,000. Got rid of everything else and said, I'm just going to have the mat. One color, just the mat. I'll let my backers decide. They've already started voting, so I already have a little bit of secret info about what color it'll be. But, you know, I've also set another goal. Incremental, and if we can raise 25 grand, we're going to have a second color. You know? And so I'm putting it in my backers' hands, and you guys have kicked butt, and I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
See, and he came dressed for the occasion. See, he dressed for yoga.
I would do yoga on the floor, but we really can't show it here.
Yeah. Can you spread it out? Like, how do you
So one of the great things about it, obviously, it's small.
Right. I see. Well, he's like a pitch man on home shopping with me.
QVC, you give me a call. This is the mat, and it's literally a full size mat. You'll see. But these straps are reversible, and you can hang. Oh look, we're on a wider screen.
Oh, I see. Oh, wonderful.
You can actually wash it in the shower. And I don't know
so
if
you watch this thing in the shower, and I saw you just hanging up.
I don't know if you practice yoga, Matthew, but one of the things about big mats when you roll them up is they get stinky.
They would stink?
Yeah, mats get moldy and nasty when you try to wash them. And so there was a couple of different things that I designed this for. What's that?
Like my running socks.
Yeah, exactly, like running socks.
Oh, wonderful. Well, let's get Shane on the line. Dominique came here. She's here. Dominique Broadway. So she's going to be here too. But we'll get Shane. And hi, Shane. Do you hear me yet?
Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Matt. You can hear me.
Wonderful. So what's the weather like in Texas? Nobody wants to know, but I'm curious too.
It's like 85 or so.
Ah, well, that's almost here. We're like almost 70, yeah. So today you're going to tell us how to start a nonprofit organization where we don't have to hire a lawyer, right? There's a lawyer sitting next to me, so I don't want to say this loudly. So that you don't have to hire a lawyer to fill out the 501(c) forms to become a nonprofit with the IRS. Is that right?
Not at all. In fact, lawyers looked at that topic before said that they charge about $1,000.
Is that what it is? About $1,000 mostly? But if you find a good yoga lawyer, I bet it'll be half that.
Well, maybe so.
Karmic prices.
Right. Yeah. So how do you do that? I mean, it's intimidating though, isn't it?
You know, it is at first. When you download the form, it's called IRS 623. That's the form number.
IRS, what is that? IRS what?
1023.
1023. So that's IRS form 1023 if you want to become a nonprofit organization, right?
Right, you have to fill that out.
Okay, and then I see, because you sent me a copy of all this, and actually if people write me, I'll send them what you sent me. And there's instructions to fill out every bloody line, right?
Right, yeah. There's just instructions, details about how to answer all the questions, yeah.
Uh-huh. And so every line you have to fill out. I mean, the IRS looks at. I mean, to me, it's sort of like, what's the worst that could happen if you screw up?
Well, the worst thing that can happen is that there is an application fee, and if the IRS does not accept the form, you don't get your fee back.
Oh, you don't get it back. But can you change it? I mean, won't they call you and say, "Hey, this is screwed up because"?
Well, yeah. So I had several instances that were kind of like that. And I ended up having to call my congressman's office, and then he helped walk us through all of it.
Ah.
And it happened pretty quickly.
So you filled out a form, you screwed it up, and they said no. And so you called your congressman, and he beat on the IRS and got it through for you.
He did, yeah.
Wow!
That's a good
terrible causes.
Yeah, it must have been election year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's terrific. So that's what I mean. Actually, to me, it is sort of like, you know, I mean, it can't. You said something very nice to me. Was you said they're not complicated. They're just long, right?
Right. Yeah. And really, the nice of it, only about close to 60 or 70% of it you won't even touch.
Ah. So half of it you don't even fill out, huh?
Correct. Yeah.
And you said you've done about 20 of these already?
I have.
And you started with but you start the first one, you were just a virgin and jumped in and did it and kept going, right?
Right, yeah, and I learned a lot with that process.
Uh-huh.
And so with that, we've got kind of formula down where the last time I did it 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, and you said, now, so the two things. So the worst case is what is the fee? $100 or 75 or?
If you might make it more than $10,000 a year, it's $850.
Oh, it's $850 fee. Oh, they can't.
Right, yeah.
They can't keep that on you if you screw it up.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
Well, that's why you get Congressman involved.
Ah.
That's worth a phone call.
Right, that's worth a couple of calls there. Ah, I see. Oh God, well that's double if a lawyer screws up then, right?
Well, yeah.
How long does it take that to go through, by the way?
Right.
How long?
Go ahead.
How long does it take to have that process from when you submit it until when it gets returned successfully or gets rejected? How long?
Well, okay, so the actual writing application part, they take about an hour and a half right now. But now, once you submit it, it takes, well, each amount of time is 2 weeks to get it back, and the most amount of time would be whenever it got rejected in Congress.
Okay, so 2 weeks is the shortest time you've gotten it turned around. Wow.
So I think the average is probably 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks is normal.
It's a little bit prohibitive, though, if you think about it, Matthew, because secretaries of states will turn around your application for a business license in like a day.
Right. Yeah.
Or online.
That's like a fill out the form.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but they also have a lot of states. Don't you have to fill out like to be a nonprofit in that state too? Is there another form at the state level?
Yeah, so before you turn in the 1023 form, there's a article of incorporation you have to file with the state, which is usually anywhere from $20. And those are refundable.
Oh, they are refundable, huh?
Yeah.
So this is at the state level is refundable, but the federal level is not. Huh?
Correct.
Those feds, man, they're in debt. That's right. Actually, we're going to cover some debt orders. So how about help? Now, actually, you know what I thought when you said you were going to cover this? I have some slides here. What I was thinking, go to, what number we have here? 72.